Hey lads, Coach Si here. So back after 10 days off. There's been no lives, but I've made sure there's been plenty of stuff going out to keep you entertained and so you're learning about how to get fit and healthy. Let's crack on. So I want to talk about on how the best way to get back on track after holiday, and it's a lot simpler than you think. I always say this, that society tends to make things difficult, or we don't think something is effective unless it's complex or difficult. And I'm here to prove to you that when it comes to fat loss, getting in shape, fit, whatever, like that, it's easy. It's not got to be complex. So I've had 10 days off. Okay, I've been drinking beer, cocktails with missus, food like full English breakfast, croissants, pan of chocolates for breakfast, eating shit, eating what I want when I want. Fancy an ice cream, I'll have one. If I walk by another ice cream place and I want one, I'll have one. If I wanted a crepe, I would have it. Obviously though, come back, trousers fitting tighter, few pounds heavier on the scales. I'm feeling slow as well, quite interestingly. Like my brain is a little bit foggy, a bit slow and all that. So that's an interesting one. And usually I get headaches for about a week or two, and I'd swear down it's withdrawals. And I was getting a headache at the moment. I would usually go for a beer with the missus earlier. So there you go. But people either do two things when they come back off holiday. They panic that they've put on the weight, the trousers are feeling tighter, all their hard work is gone to waste, and they just quit, they sack it off. They think that the mountain to climb to get back to where they got before, they feel it's too high and too steep, okay? Or they overcompensate. When I get back, I'm off the beer. When I get back, I'm not having a treat. I want to go for it. I used to train 3 times, but I'm going to go 5 now. And again, the problem with overcompensating and trying to get back into shape so quick after holiday is that you can kind of burn out, do too much, and end up just basically quitting again. So either way, blokes in nature tend to do the all or nothing, and I want to educate you that you don't have to do that. So all you've got to do is get back on it. That's all you've got to do. So whatever you did to get in shape, or whatever shape you was at pre-holiday, just do what you was doing before. So however you were approaching nutrition, however you were approaching exercise, your weekly step count, whatever it was, do the same again, and you will find 10 days later, your body will return back to exactly where it was before. So there's no need to panic, overcompensate, worry that you've undone your results. Listen, you cannot undo all of your results, even if it was 2 weeks and you was going for it. You need to have 3,500 calories over your maintenance calories, okay? Let's say your maintenance calories, the amount you need to survive is 2,500 a day. You would need to have 6,000 calories every day, okay, to gain a pound of fat every day. That's a lot of fucking calories, and I very much doubt that you would be able to do that unless you sat down and tried really hard and moved nowhere. So don't worry about it, basically. There's no way you can gain that much fat. Likely what you've gained is a lot of weight, okay? So I found that some of the meals that I were eating, all I could taste was salt. Now, if you have, let's say you had a meal yesterday or a day that was high in salt, and you go on the scales, it's literally like this bottle of water is pretty much empty now, but it's literally like stepping on the scales with a bottle of water. When obviously you have a lot of salt, your body's going to soak it all in like a sponge. And obviously like a sponge that's soaked with water, it's heavier, right? There's a lot of sugar, so you're probably having a lot more carbohydrates than you're having. That's going to make you weigh more. And then obviously we don't move as much, right? So on holiday, what do? We tend to do fuck all, basically. We sit there, sit on our fat asses, and we basically get cocktails and beers and food brought to us. We don't even have to do the dishes, don't have to do nothing. We take the lift because we can't be arsed. It's holiday, right? So that all those things will make us weigh a bit more, make your trousers a bit tighter, make your stomach stick out a little bit. But like I said, go back to your original way of training, nutrition. 10 days later, you will find you're back to where you were before. Now, at that point, you've done your 7 to 10 days, you've gone back to it. What do you do next? The next thing you do is set a goal, because I'm a firm believer, if you decide that you're going to maintain or you're happy with where you are or whatever, you're basically standing still. If you are not moving forward, you're going to move backwards. When you stand still and you've not got any goals, and it's not like I'll do a 5k run or a mud run, or I'm going to enter, I don't know, white collar boxing. Doesn't matter what the hell it is, but make sure you set a goal so you're always moving forward, because the moment you start getting a bit relaxed, we start getting a bit like chilled out, the beers start creeping in, the snacks start creeping in, the weekends get a bit more relaxed, and before you know it, you'll be back to square one, okay? So make sure you're always setting goals. So focus number one, okay? Focus number one is just get back on it, let the weight come back off, and then as soon as you're back to where you were before, you then start pushing forward, all right? Okay, and also just going back on that, people stressing that they've put too much weight on holiday. We talked about that you need 3,500 calories as a surplus on top of your maintenance, right, to gain a pound of fat. That's why, just a reminder, why one day when you have been out of shape and you've woke up and you looked in the mirror and you go, whoa, what the hell, I don't recognise the guy looking in front of me. That's because it takes months and years to get out of shape. Right, anyway, I'm going to move on from that. Made my point there. Made my point that it's really easy to get back in shape. Just a quick one on this then. Training on holiday, should you do it? What are my thoughts? Because I know that from speaking to other clients that have been to other companies or whatever, local and around, they've been told that they have to train. You've got to train. You've got to train on holiday. You've got to still eat the food. You've got to try and track your calories and all that. And my personal belief is train if you want to. I call it a belief or whatever, but the whole reason being is that if you're lucky enough, you go on holiday, 4 times a year, once a year, twice a year, whatever, and you probably, even if you're not on it, you're stressing about, should you be eating well? I shouldn't have had that beer, getting exercise done, getting up early to get boot camps done or get to the gym, whatever it might be. Should you be stressing about it on holiday? No, because I've just pointed out that within 7 to 10 days, you'll be back to where you were before. So why the hell should you be busting a gut to get to the gym or go for a run in the heat and sacrifice enjoyment? Like one guy was texting me, I'm not really having a good holiday. And I was like, how come? He goes, well, I'm only having 1 or 2 beers. I was like, why? He goes, well, I'm trying to be good. I was like, dude, have all the beers you want. And then when he came back, he was like, I've had the best holiday after the moment I said he could drink more beers, because he had it in his head that he still had to be good. And lo and behold, 10 days later, back to where I was before. Fine. However, if you want to train on holiday, you like the idea of it, then go for it. This year is the first year I properly trained on holiday because I've got a comp coming up and I fancied it. Do you know what? There's a good gym about. I've got a competition coming up, and do you know what as well? Exercise is great for your mental health, and I find I do have withdrawals. And I'm not usually like Mr. Fitness Bunny or whatever. I know I'm a coach, I know I run a fitness business, but I don't wake up wanting to do yoga and then a 10k run or whatever. I'm a real person. I like exercise, but I don't overdo it. And usually on a holiday, I want to totally chillax. But I absolutely loved it. I found it was great for my mental health, and I found that I just, enjoyed life a bit more on holiday. So if you want to train on holiday, do. If you don't worry about it. You don't have to, because 7 to 10 days of getting back on it, your body will bounce back. Coach Si, signing out.